Welcome to Football Exponential podcast. I'm Chika. I'm joined by Frank.
Hi, Chica. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thanks a lot. Let's quickly go. If you're watching us, first of all, before we start, if you're watching us and you like what we are doing, please smash the like button, like, subscribe, and then follow us. Let's go with the first one. With reported news that Van Nistelrooy is going to be the next appointed manager for Leicester. What do you have
Okay.
to say about that?
I think that's another person that has a lot to be thankful for this season. It seems his interim shifts at United gave has put him in the spotlight for a few clubs in especially in England. He was reportedly linked to the Conventry job, but he's gotten the Leicester job. This is first full-time job in Premier League. I think it's an interesting choice because I feel Leicester is a very they're going through some tricky moments. They're not doing fantastic in the Premier League, but they're doing okay. They're outside the relegation place. United just considered again. That's good. But back to Manchester. But Leicester they're doing okay, but there was a lot of discontent towards their previous manager. Was it Steve Cooper?
Copa. Yeah.
Especially because of his past relationships with Nottingham Forest
Okay. Yeah.
and Leicester. Nottingham Forest, they have that clashing rivalry there. But I just feel stylistically going from a coach like Maresca in the Championship, the ball dominant, possession heavy, rotation heavy coach, to a un very unexciting manager like Steve Cooper in terms of even personality wise. Whenever he communicates his message in the media to the player, it just looks, sorry to
He
say, it
comes
just
across
looks
that he comes
it it,
across
it comes
perception is
very,
not right.
yeah, exactly, it comes
Because
across very bland.
he made himself like so plain, he like so easy
Exactly.
going.
Yeah,
The
and
first day
I
I saw him,
feel
I was like, are you sure this is a manager? But when you check his record, that guy is good.
is
He might
no,
not be
it's,
the
it's good.
top. Like when from Swansea, he took them up from I think he won a competition with the under 21 or something. Was he the
Yeah,
man?
yeah, he was on.
Tammy
I believe
Abraham then. I think
he,
he was
he,
Hudson Odoi and Tammy Abraham.
I think he won the under 17 World Cup
World
with
Cup, yes.
Foden and Gibbs White and all those. But I just think from the get go it was the wrong appointment from the get go, and I feel it's one of those situations where they interviewed a lot of people, Graham Potter for one, but they just couldn't get the right person in the house, and they just, end of the day, they went with Steve Cooper. He's a safe pair of hands. He comes in, a bit of Premier League experience. He knows how to keep a club in the Premier League. And with Leicester City's PSL battles with the Premier League and the EFL, they've not been able to spend well to improve that score, because the score is a good score, but it's still not.
I
You put
saw
it,
Steve, what's his name? So, Jordan, what's his
Sa-
name?
Simon Jordan, yeah,
I saw Simon Jordan give analysis of the newly promoted sides. These people spent 125. One of
uh,
them,
Ipswich, yeah,
Ipswich spent
Ipswich, they spent
125.
they spent a lot,
Southampton spent 100 million. Ipswich spent 125. And guess how much Leicester spent? 70 something million. And
yeah,
70
yeah.
something million are losing their best player in Hall. That's a lot.
Just very,
I
yeah,
remember they've lost their two best players from Harvey Barnes, the first one, then the second one. It was always the only problem I have. The reason why I hold Copa so highly, I so much regard him is that ever since I was born, I've been hearing about Nottingham Forest, how they won the European Championship. I never saw them in the Premier League.
yeah,
I've never.
yeah.
The same thing with Wimbledon, MK Dons. There are some clubs they talk about history, historically. MK Dons, Wimbledon, I never. But he was the first person that brought them up and then they stayed up. Was sacking him the right thing to do for 4 years? I think it was right that they sacked him at that moment.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that
yeah, it
doesn't
was
mean he's not good enough for the Premier League. And I just feel it's not that he's not good enough for Leicester. It was a bad match. The players, the
exact.
personnel, it was just a
The
bad match.
ownership,
So
the ownership,
the
the fan
ownership,
base,
yeah, they were still
it's
they've not gotten over Enzo and all those things. The style of football is totally different. With Van Nistelrooy, I think it's different because what comes with him is that I was checking. Van Nistelrooy scored 349 goals in 592 games, which is very, very impressive. He spent only one season as a coach in PSV, and he won the KNVB Cup, the equivalent of FA Cup, and the equivalent of their community shield with PSV. So
Yeah,
now, then he plays with Leicester. He plays Enzo style possession football, but it's more patient possession football and more
yeah,
direct. His PSV side relies so much on his wingers with the likes of Gapco, he had Johan Bagayoko, he had
yeah,
Xavi Simons, and then Luke De Jong. These are his
yeah.
attacking players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had Noni for 6 months before Noni
6 months.
left
Yeah,
for
and he
Chelsea at
spent
the
only
time.
one season. Statistically, I
Yeah,
found out something that's very, very impressive. Do you know while he was at PSV that alongside Benfica, the average higher than um um only Benfica average higher than PSV's 2.2 non-penalty expected goals that season.
in Europe.
Out of yes, 7 top leagues in Europe. That is
Oh,
impressive.
that,
Yeah,
that's that's
yeah, yeah.
that's impressive.
That's very, very impressive. But what are the similarities with Leicester? These are the good things. He plays 4-2-3-1. Sometimes they can change that, which
Yeah,
is the same thing. The other guy played, Enzo played, and he has already made players into central midfielders or deep line midfielders that
yeah,
can act as an eight in Ndidi, Wilfred Ndidi, and Harry Winks. So he
yeah,
just slot them in. That is also good. Then he has a better number 9, even though he's older, in
yeah.
Jamie Vardy, and then he has a better number 9 in Jamie Vardy, and then he had Luke De Jong, who is older, but I think Vardy is way older than Luke De Jong.
That is
But
older, but that is still mobile in
Vardy is more,
comparison
and he's
to.
clinical in front of goal. So
Yeah,
he has the tools to work at Leicester. But the only thing that worries me is Leicester don't have the wingers. The Fatawu, the only guy who's genuine, the Fatawu is injured. Mavidi
yes.
is hot and cold.
No, but
Um,
I think they have this exciting player they have on loan from Brighton, Buonanotte, who's probably been their player of
yeah.
this.
I think he was suspended for last game.
Yeah, he's probably been their player of the season, and if you can platform him in a
Yeah, he's
very
good.
in just behind
Production
Vardy,
wise, he doesn't have the numbers, but he's good.
yeah, he'll probably get there. He'll probably get there. But if you can platform him in just behind Vardy to
Yeah,
get Vardy the services, but I feel one of Leicester's biggest problems this season has been how they started games. They always had this not negative, but they were very conservative in their stats. Whenever they started games, but whenever they switched it on to play football, you can see, especially notably, they came against Southampton where they were 2 goals down at halftime. They come back that second half. Fatal comes off the bench and they blow Southampton. They win the game 3-2 at the end of the day. They have Premier League experience in that squad. They have Vivardi, Jordan Ayew.
which is
Those guys,
crucial.
those those guys can get
The
you.
only
Those
thing
guys.
that worries me is that I think they have the worst central back defending in Premier League.
Oh, was the Belgian David Luiz? Oh yeah, he's terrible.
It's bad. Like
No,
there might be
it's terrible.
someone worse, but I've seen him the face, or how do you pronounce it? The fight
Face,
face.
just well,
I've
you might as well
watched
call
this
it.
is the third year of watching him, and it's bad. They had
No,
him. Who has Suter? Someone bought Suter.
no,
The
they have Suter as well.
and they sold Suter. Suter is no longer there. I can't see him again.
No, Suter, they sold him back to the championship to his
So
level.
and then they have Okoli. Is it Okoli also? The
Okoli,
Italian guy.
Okoli is this. I feel they have it's it's one of those things that I won't be surprised if he goes in there and at some point this season he reverts to a back three where they have good fullbacks. Ricardo Pereira is a good fullback.
Yeah, yeah, very, very good. And
James Justin is a good
Justin is Premier League quality though.
James Justin's quality. The Danish left back Thomas Christiansen is a good fullback. He's strong attacking focus. I saw him a lot in my local team Copenhagen. He's a very strong attacking man fullback. So he hasn't given that license to attack down the wings. So I feel if they can get that situation where they get that solid base, they have a fantastic goalkeeper. Matt Emerson, they have one of the best goalkeepers in Premier League, in my opinion. So I feel they have the tools, and with January coming up, you can if you can get one or two bodies in, probably on loan or pick some nice transfers here and there. So especially in attack, you bolster that, you improve the attack, you improve the players you have in on the wings, and I'm sure I expect him
I
to
would
just
have,
do.
if I'm them, I would have gone for David Moyes. I would have gone for try and trusted. At the end
No,
of the
no,
season,
no, no, no. Because
you feel
I just feel if you're going with David Moyes, it sends. Because I feel you need that that coach that comes in and gets the fan base back on side. And if you get David Moyes, this is not a knock on David Moyes, but David Moyes is a brand name, and the brand name, his brand of football doesn't really entice fans these days.
but
It's
again, but just like Everton, Leicester should be concerned about staying up. I even
yeah,
give them. I don't
I
mind
know,
even getting the
I,
manager from their rivals. I just want to stay up next season. Next season summer, I can plan on whoever I want to get the best brand of football.
yeah,
I don't know.
but I know, but the problem is if you get David Moyes, it has to be you have to sign David Moyes type players in general. You have to recruit players that fit his overall game model. And if you're getting a manager to keep you safe
I pray they stay
from
up.
that from that I feel they stay
Because
up
if they don't stay
between
up in the championship, I don't think Van Nistelrooy can stick. That championship is difficult. It can be a demise of the club. I just feel they
yeah
stay up.
yeah. No,
Let's go.
I feel they stay up when you have teams like I feel with teams like Southampton around, they'll give you a chance. So I think they probably stay up.
Let's go to the next one. Frank Lampard. For more context, it was announced today as the was it maybe yeah today as the replacement for Mark Robbins at Conventry City. This will be his fourth club in England or his career. He managed Derby, which was he was very very successful in Derby. He played in the he got to the playoff. I think he was knocked out by Aston Villa. Was he in the first
Yeah.
playoff? It wasn't the final, but it was the first the
No,
playoff
no,
game.
no. Final. They go all the way to the
Was it
final.
the final? Oh,
They
was it
go.
final?
They
Okay. Derby. He
he
was so successful, very, very. In Chelsea, in his first season, he was a success because even with the style of play, then in Everton he went downhill in Everton. I think Everton is his worst record because even his second time in Chelsea, it was already a sinking ship. I think so. You can't really criticize him that much in Chelsea in his second season, but in Everton it was so bad. It was terrible. So that's it. Then for more context, Mark Robbins was the one who promoted. He was in charge while Conventry City were promoted from League One up to the second tier of football in Championship. He went all the way to the playoffs with Luton City, Luton Town, sorry, in I think last two seasons, and he was knocked out by Luton in the final, and then Luton went up to the Premier League. They didn't go up. Last season they played in the quarterfinal. Was it quarterfinal or semi-final with Manchester United? I think
Semi final.
in the semi-final. I think they were the
This
better side on that day.
they were this close to
And
FA Cup final.
and that was the day I lost respect for Anthony. Like I was so you these
And
guys from the championship. Yeah, they played
oh yeah, oh
Conventry.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh
You
yeah.
beat them on
I remember.
penalties, and you want
Yeah.
to. You don't do that. That's when I knew that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about? Do you think is? I think is the. I don't think it's a bad hire for Conventry, but I think it's a bad.
Yeah.
Is a bad club for Lampard, and this is why I feel so. If I'm Lampard, taking over a club like Conventry is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stability. He's going into a club where the coach was so successful. This is another Enzo. He was even way more successful than Enzo. So if he
Oh,
doesn't get it right,
very love, like
the fans, some of
well,
the
well
fans,
respected. Yeah.
yeah, some of the fans are already will be against him. He's like it's like taking over from Jose. Why he was? Some people do it very very well. Slot has done way better than I can't see a more successful. Okay, Bill Shankly and the other person. There's some Liverpool legends. Bill Shankly and one other person. They were so good. They took over. He took over from someone who was good and made it better. But sorry, if I'm Lampard, I'm not taking that job because if it goes bad,
Well, but this it comes back to the question. Okay, do you want to get back into coaching? And you can't just because he's been out of coaching for about 2 years now, roughly
yeah.
about yeah 2 years now. You can't if you have the opportunity to take over or get a job like the Conventry job in the Championship. I know it's not the most glamorous club you can get, but still you have to get out there and coach. If you want to progress your coaching,
But one of the
your coaching.
popular, one of the most popular clubs in England. I remember hearing them. They've been up. But in
Yeah,
2000, they didn't come. But they've been always
yeah,
going
it's
up
been a
and down.
very
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they have had a tough time of it in recent years. But I just feel he's coming after one of the most loved managers in the English lower leagues, where Mark Robbins is a well-respected coach. He did a lot of wonderful things for the club, bringing them all the way from wherever they were and managing their financial trouble. They had a lot of off the pitch issues, but he found a way to bring galvanize the club, put them in a good space. 2024 has not been their best year in terms of their performances in the EFL, but it's been one of those years where it's very tough in that championship. And when you're navigating a cup run like they did last year with an FA Cup run and the tough fixtures in the league, it kind of robs you of a few good performances. But I feel for Lampard, I just think this is another. It's just another tough job for him. I feel because he's not exactly going. He's going in and he has to get that team in good shape fairly soon because they are somewhat in a relegation fight. They
They
are
are. They're
about
17th. They're 17th in the table, and then 17th, and they've only 4 wins in 14 games. So they lack
ex
confidence. That's one thing I can
exactly
tell you. Yeah.
exactly. So you're going in there. You've been out of the game for a long time. You're going to this tough situation where the fans really didn't like the sacking of the ex coach, and you have to start getting performances as soon as you walk into the door. You're already against it, so it's tough for him. But I feel this is probably last chance saloon for Lampard, where 'cause I know like if because what's the expectation this season? Is it to just keep them in the league, by even if it's by a point or whatever, just float above relegation zone, or go there, improve the team, improve the confidence within the squad, the players, the fan base, and just go for them. But I just feel I don't see any positives for Lampard as a coach. I don't see even for Conventry as a club as well. I don't see. I think this is just is a bad match. But I could be wrong. But me knowing
Well,
Frank Lampard,
why I don't
me,
think is a big risk for Coventry is I don't think they will end up being relegated. I think he will stabilize it. But I'm looking at Lampard. I won't take that. Let's go to your area. A quick one. Champions League. Yesterday Liverpool deferred to you in this. Liverpool defeated Real Madrid yesterday. So what do you really think is the problem of Madrid? Madrid is 24th in the table. Well, I have to remind our viewers that the first first club to the eighth gets to play the playoff automatically to the knockout. Sorry, then the eighth and then the 9th to 24th plays in the playoff. So that means Madrid one step down, they're off. They can't play the playoff again.
they
So
have to
what
win.
are really
They have to win their next. They have to win their next couple of games. There's no hiding behind it. They have to go out. Their next game is like their next cup. They have their next couple of games against. Well, their next game actually in the Champions League is away at Atlanta, one of the most informed teams in European football right now, and they have a somewhat winnable game against Salzburg at home. And then they finish with Brest away in France. That could be a banana skin right there. So I feel they have to get at minimum 2 wins out of the
well, if
last
I'm
three
their fans,
games.
I'm not looking at this. Whenever it starts this way, they'll get knocked out in the knockout. It's difficult to struggle this way, qualify. Some teams do it, then go far.
Yeah, but again, I also feel this is where with the Champions League, it's sometimes you can, or in the past with the group stage where you can have a bad group stage, you can just sneak into the next round, and then you pick up, you get lucky draw, and you just gain momentum from there going forward. But I feel with Madrid is just it's the issues are bigger than just the um independent fixtures. It's more the overall problem they have in that team. And it's just, I think one is injuries is the biggest issue. That team. Their best players can't keep fit. Vinicius is out for a few weeks now. their best player on the day, in my opinion, yesterday, Camavinga, he went off injured. He's injured again for the next couple of weeks. They only have one fit centre back on their rota. They have no right back. So Valverde, that probably the strongest midfielder, is playing at right back. Vinicius is injured. Rodrigo is injured. It's a very mixed match. And when you're in this position, the one thing you should be able to count on is your star player being able to perform in the big games, and that's Mbappe. And yesterday was just one of those moments like you go like, oh, what happened to that boy? Like, what's going on? Because the whole narrative this year has been, or this season so far has been, oh, he's gone to Madrid, he's not playing in his right position, so that's why he's been off. And I pushed back with the argument. I'm just saying, yeah, he's playing out of position, but we've seen several players in the past and currently playing out of position, but are still
Many great
function.
players have played out of
This you
positions
ca-
and made it.
you can still function in that role. You can still do a job for the team, and you can still just contribute in a way. Not I know he's scored a few goals, but I just feel I've not seen a good Mbappe performance. And I feel the only one good performance I've seen from Mbappe overall this season was his debut in the Super Cup against Atlanta, where that was when you see the electric movement, the pace, the running, and you're just okay now. That was okay. Could he build on that? And ultimately, he's been so far. It's not been good enough. And and it's not just a Real Madrid problem. He's had the same problem with France. He had a very unconvincing Euros where I think he only scored one goal from open play. He missed a few
Mm.
games. He missed a few games with a broken nose or fractured nose or whatever. And even before that, he missed a few good chances. In a game against probably Austria. But even you see it with this, but the sentiment, the growing sentiment amongst the French squad, his teammates, and the French followers is: do we really need Mbappe these days? Because you've seen the last two international breaks, they've left him at home.
Yeah.
They've decided not to call him, and he had a rift in his last appearance of France with Magic Mike Manian, where there was a bit of not, but it was reported there was some harsh words spoken to each other in terms of him not being an actual leader of the team. That if you're a leader of the team, you need to lead from the front. We need you,
But he's never
not
been there for
just
the club.
no, but I think he has. I think he has. I think this is what happens when a player gets overfed and gets spoiled in the wrong way, where you stay at PSG for too long, where you're the club that caters to your every need.
Yeah.
Nobody challenges you there. Nobody pushes you there.
Nobody questions you.
You basically have the club in the palm of your fist. No, you have a direct line to the French Prime Minister, trying to get in contact with you, trying to convince you to stay at Paris Saint-Germain. And this is what ultimately is. Ultimately leads to where you lose a step. I'm not saying Mbappe is not a bad player; he's still a fantastic player. But when you lose a step in your game, and most times you're probably the last to notice it when you're not as quick as you were. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
as
yeah. You're always the last. Yeah, because even when you lose a step, sometimes the statistics don't say it. You're still scoring
yeah,
as much goals. You're still so
exactly.
you don't realize that until
You don't
things
realize
get.
it, but
You
until
tolerate a lot when you win. There's so many things
yeah,
you can't tolerate. Yeah, so you don't say it. Yeah.
and I feel like so far Real Madrid's two biggest games or this season, the Liverpool game yesterday and a classical game where you need an Mbappe to. These are the games you sign Mbappe for. These are the nights you need Mbappe, and it's been poor. And also to make what matters was he wasn't really having the best of games. Then you get a penalty and a chance to get on the score sheet to build something from there, but you you end up missing the penalty as well. So it's I feel it's tough, but I just feel I don't know where Real Madrid go from here. It's Ancelotti has to find a way to get this team taken, not just even taken, but get more structure into the team, get
Oh,
players.
I think at this stage, I think it will be a bad season. I think it will be a bad season. I don't see them coming back. I'm just saying how bad will it be? That should be the question, because this is November already, and this is ending of November. The season, although Barca, sorry, I have cold. Barca on their part are not playing ideally well. They struggle lately also, so that makes it easier for Madrid. But at the end, I see teams that are very way better shape playing so well in the Champions League that I don't think this will be Madrid's season. I don't. I think next season they can sit down and plan whatever they want to do or with the team.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
but also, but it's just I don't know. I just feel
I
it's
think Tony
probably
Kroos exit, Tony Kroos retirement also might have hurt them so much
yeah,
because
yeah,
they might, they
yeah.
have some intangibles that is easy, is difficult for us, easy for us to
Eh,
ignore, and difficult for us to express. Because
like you
having
can see,
someone, Joe Miner has not lived up. This is it, right? Back then, when they had Chomini or Kamavinga, if you look at it, those guys were the cream de la cream of. You had Chomini, you had Kamavinga, you had Pedri, you had the other one. They were two in Barcelona, Pedri and the other one. I'm talking about central midfielders. They were good, but over the years now, in the space of 2 years, you have other players that to me are similar ages, but might have been better. You now have Caicedo, which was he hype? Was he not? We never really can tell. We're having players that have stepped up. You have the Barca boy, is it Kobaski or whatever?
yeah,
The one that
cool.
replaced so so many clubs they are we're having players now we did not look at that time having a season of Tillsman was having a good season before Villa went down, before Villa started to struggle. But what of
Yeah,
Liverpool? How
yeah,
did they had one of the best games this season. It was complete domination, like
eh,
they,
yeah. But Liverpool, I think Liverpool have been going about their business in a very confident manner, very quiet manner as well. Where they had this block of games in the last month or so where they were playing the champions of Spain, Real Madrid, champions in Germany, Bayer Leverkusen. They had some tough domestic home games, some tough domestic games against Chelsea, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brighton. They had in that this fixture pile. But so far, Liverpool have won every game this season, but two. They've only dropped points in two games. They've only lost one to Nottingham Forest, and they've drawn away to Arsenal. Every other game this season in all competitions, they've won them. So this and with the big game coming up this weekend against Man City, they have the opportunity to go 11 points clear in the Premier League. So
Hmm.
it's this transition so far to the slot era is looking seamless. Every
But
so
11 is so high. 11 is
it's,
high.
it's so high, but I feel with Liverpool they have they've shown they've shown they can win games in different styles this season. Where they have games against United where they go to Old Trafford and they beat United to the ground. Against Chelsea, they play that game more with the handbrake on where they sit off Chelsea, allow Chelsea to have the ball, and they counter from there and they go from there and they ultimately win the game. Same against Arsenal Villa. We saw that aspect yesterday in the first half against Real Madrid, sparingly. But that second half against Real Madrid, they had this 20-minute period where Real Madrid could not get out of the half. And that's where they get the first goal and they just control the game from there. They control games quite comfortably this season. Van Dijk and Konate have been the best centre back pair in Europe right now. They've been fantastic in every game
You
they
were
played
right.
together.
I never rated Konate. You were right. He is good.
It's good. It's
And
just
remember,
I think it
you
just needed
always
to go.
defended him.
It just needed to get over those injury issues. But now the players they look fitter these days. They look more conditioned. They can go the extra mile. The pressing the pressing is still there. A lot of hard running. Salah is in the form of his life right now. Um, Even when they miss key players like yesterday, Trent Alexander-Arnold was missing. The youngster Bradley
Band is
comes into.
it's playing like
It's playing like Cafu.
no one even notices you. Like
No,
you can go.
it's playing like playing like prime Cafu. The energy down the wing, aggressive defending, good eye for pass going forward. You saw he had that crushing tackle on Mbappe in the first half where they had the biggest cheer of the night from Liverpool fans, and that's another point in one flash moment for Mbappe where this is you getting caught on the counter attack by this academy player. I know Bradley's been good, but that should never not be happening to a player
That
like
should not
Mbappe.
happen.
But I just feel right now Liverpool they're well set to go on. No, I know the Champions League is still tough because you have to find out who you play in the next round and how you can get over those teams. But I feel right now, especially domestically, they're primed for a serious title challenge, and they're looking because they're looking the business right now, where they have if and there's certain players like Jota can come back and start contributing as well. The likes of Subasa have been good. Cotton Jones has been fantastic. Yes, it was fantastic this season as well.
Not that to grab the match.
Gravenberch, that's like when I was watching the game yesterday.
It's like
It
we never
just
talked about Liverpool buying a number six. It was all over
yeah,
them. Zubimendi will be like, they didn't really want me
no,
because
no, it's good, but again, it's good for the owners. You know what? It's like wow, that's 50 million we saved right there. We don't need Zubimendi again. But it
yeah, yeah,
goes,
yeah.
but also, and I also feel with Liverpool, even with I feel the only negative or the only down parts or the only bit of worry they should have right now is this contract situation between Salah, Van Dijk, and
Yeah, I was like, but why haven't they offered like? I get it is business, but I was
yeah,
looking at Jamie Carragher blaming Salah for asking for not having a contract. Like,
I don't agree with
well,
that
I'm
take.
not fighting my fellow player for trying to get his money. He's not jeopardizing his team. He's putting in shift. He's playing well.
Yeah,
So he just wants to make it clear because tomorrow they spin the news and say
exactly,
Salah. Yeah,
exactly,
so I want to make
exactly,
it clear
exactly,
right now that I don't have a
exactly.
contract. That is
Yeah, yeah,
being ahead of the
yeah,
owners because tomorrow they will make it look like, oh, they never say
yeah. I
that they
know,
were the ones that kicked out the player, wanted to sell the player.
I
They make
know.
it look like the
It's
player wanted to leave.
especially with Liverpool. Liverpool have had this. They've had history with this in the past where you have Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling leaves Liverpool to go for Man City, but they then the attacks start coming. Oh, he's this money hungry player. He's left for the money. He's gone for the riches. He's greedy and all that. But I feel right now with this situation of Salah, he's doing his business on the pitch. He's so far the best player in the
I
league.
think they might be the most unforgiving football fans in Premier League.
I agree, and this is why I feel
I
this
see.
and
I can't think of any club that don't forgive play. Like
no
I
no
thought
no no
about another
no
club now, but I think Liverpool is the worst. Like even
no,
Everton can tolerate certain.
no, Liverpool boot players that get linked to the club or they don't come. They were born in Bellingham yesterday.
I say, oh,
Every touch, the same way they had the same energy for Caicedo and Lavia when they turned up Anfield, just because they were linked to the club, they didn't get the deal over the line, and they just boom, enemies, enemies,
the thing
enemies are
that
hands
they
dry.
have not yet forgiven Michael Owen till date is
Yeah,
yet yet
Michael Owen, Steve.
For Ings played for Liverpool. Where did he play Liverpool first before going to United, right? Or United first before Liverpool? I forgot. I
Uh,
know he played for two of them.
uh,
And
I,
then played
I,
Inter Milan. I forgot where he played for. That they haven't
I can't remember.
forgiven. They
They,
haven't
they,
forgiven.
they don't forgive. They
They
don't
don't
forgive.
forgive.
They don't forgive Torres. They've not forgiven Torres to this day. Alonso, but there are some players where they have that love for. But I just feel it was Salah's played he's played amazing. It's an amazing chess move right now where you make it clear that right now the decision is with the club to make. I'm not going anywhere. I want to stay right here. I love it here. You make me the offer. And right now, most Liverpool fans don't care what the figure is. Just get our best player tied down to the club long term. Simple. That's just it. And it's one of those situations, especially when you see how Liverpool have done business in recent years, where a new manager comes in, they don't really back the manager in the transfer window. It's very unheard of to see a manager not even he didn't get any. I know they signed Chiesa, but that's just more. That's like a make a wish deal. Just like that's a charity
And,
case. Let's
and
help this guy out.
it still wasn't. He still hasn't worked because he's
He
injured.
hasn't, he hasn't worked. Yeah, so it's still. I feel right now he's doing probably. He's probably doing the best coaching and managerial job around because he's balancing all these players, balancing with tough games coming up, the intensity of those games. You see a lot of players. He's found roles for most players in the team. So it's just I feel Liverpool right now they're primed for big things this season, and and I just feel also I noticed yesterday like what they had in midfield, the energy, the control, the pressing. That's exactly what Real Madrid miss in that midfield right now. They miss they miss a player like Gravenberch that can get his foot on the ball, win tackles, pass through the lines. Curtis Jones, high running, high energy, linking the attack and the defense together, and McAllister just being the glue in the whole midfield. I feel like Modric has been a fantastic. Has had a fantastic career, but at this point, what we're doing, you can't be relying on Modric week in week out in big games like this. It's just unfortunate. But with Real Madrid and Mbappe, they have to go back, have some tough conversations within themselves as players, as coach and players as well, and just find a way forward. Just if it
But
means you have to
sacking
be
Ancelotti is not the solution.
no second chance is not a solution. If anybody can get this done, it's Ancelotti. But you have to have tough conversations, and players need to come to the realization that what we're doing so far is not good enough. We need to work harder to get as a team, and that's directly as Mbappe. Mbappe, you need to give this team more, not just flashes of brilliance with your attacking play, dribbling, but we need you to give this team more. We need Real Madrid are a dangerous team with Mbappe at his best, and they have to
Yeah.
find a way to help him get to his best. But at the end of the day, he has to find a way to get himself back there. And because Mbappe is still, I feel if he's not one or two or three top three best players around, but just in the last year, yeah, he's just lost that step. I don't know if it's something, if it's mental, if it's the whole situation. Because you saw that video circulating around social media where Real Madrid in the tunnel, you see everybody, Jude is locked in, Rudiger now passing information, talking, and Mbappe is just on the side, just is out of it. It's like he looks completely zoned out, like he's not there, and that's the best, that's a good way to describe his performances so far. He's just zoned out. He's not there. So I don't know how to fix it because I like Real Madrid. I like the club very much. I like Mbappe as a player. I just feel they have to find a way to get the thing going again, get that machine going again. Because if they can just get across the line, get to January, they need a few bodies in January. They need to get at least two players in January. This is what I know. Real Madrid, they make it a choice not to sign in January, but I feel they need to get players that can come in right now and just add extra bodies, add a bit more quality, a bit more legs in midfield, extra quality at the back, a right back, centre back, and don't get another midfielder. At this point, it doesn't matter how much you have to spend. Just because the season it's not over yet, but you need to build something. You need to show something. Where I won't be surprised if they're going for if they knock on Chelsea to 100 million. Enzo Fernandez, let's go.
So, what other uh, team do you want to shout out?
Atlanta. Atlanta. They are doing the business. Both them just like Liverpool. They are doing the business both in Europe and in the Italian Serie A. And I feel right now for me they are my favorites to win the Serie A title, and I would love to see that happen for them. That's a very
I
that's a
would love to see
very
that happen. I would
I'd
love
love
to
to see
see that
that.
happen.
I
I would love to see that
Ademola
happen.
Lookman fantastic. Charles AC Milan flop. Charles the
And
Catalari
that and that was
has been
that was
fantastic.
one of the reasons why Maldini was sacked because the new owners refer to such players. They provided the cash to buy. They spent a lot of
Yeah,
money. I mean, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
40 something million
yeah.
or
But
I
he
think
didn't.
euro. And then
Yeah, he didn't quite work out in the first season. Then they loaned him to Atlanta, and since last season and now he's been on fire.
but did
He's
they
been
Atlanta sign him permanently or is still a loan?
look. They signed him permanently.
They
That's
let him sign him permanently.
yeah. I believe so. I'll confirm, but I believe so.
No, they signed him permanently. They signed him because I saw Gasparini making a comment about how
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Americans use algorithm. He can't say that if the boy is still on loan. He can't
Yeah,
say that if the
exactly.
boy is on loan.
No, he was brilliant yesterday. I think he had 2 goals and 4 assists or something like that. He's been fantastic. That attacking trio, Matteo Rotegi, Ademola Lookman, and Charles Catalari, they are probably, if not the best attacking trio right now in European football.
Funny
They're
enough, your
very
guy is not really doing much in Juve. They're not really pulling.
Juve.
It's a gradual process.
I think it's with Juve is a gradual process where, but 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 so far I've liked. They need that X factor in that team, especially in attack because they control a lot of games, they keep a lot of clean sheets, but they're lacking that flair in the final third, that creativity, that extra firepower to go. And I feel I won't be surprised if our friend McDonald's at Manchester United goes back and links up with his former coach Mota. Joshua Zexi. So, but of course, I feel that's there's a deal that can happen there between those two clubs. Joshua Zexi on United and Douglas Luiz, because Luiz has not had a good time in Italy so far. So I won't be surprised if they have that swap deal or a swap loan or something like that. I think that's a deal that could benefit both teams right now.
That should be all for us today. Do you have anything
Yeah.
for?
No, just again, thanks for the support. Happy Thanksgiving, wherever you are in the world. I hope we're thankful for your support and we're thankful for your support so far, helping us grow our community as well. So thank you very much.
Okay, Frank, thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Have a good day. Bye.